Hi everyone, and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And tonight we're going to talk about how to get the most out of your driver, from tee height to where is it in your stance to maybe some things that you haven't thought about in your swing. So let's get right to it. We're going to start with the tee height. You want to tee your ball up where the middle or equator line of this golf ball reaches the crown or top edge of this driver. Because with the depths of these new drivers, we need to hit up into the ball. So the club needs to be moving up when it hits the ball. So again, in a previous video, a putting video, I said there's two shots in golf. One's a putt that you hit up into. The other one's a driver. So this is right now, we need to hit up into it. So the sweet spot on these drivers is a little bit more towards the top edge or top portion of the driver rather than down low. If you hit it down low, you're not going to get as much pop out of the driver, and it's not going to launch like you want it to and like this driver is designed to work. So that's why when you tee it, I would start with teeing it right at, where the equator of the golf ball is. It's going to meet the crown of the driver. So some people like a little higher than that. I wouldn't go much lower than that just because of how the driver is designed, but that's where I'd start with tee height. Number two, in your stance, because it's got to go up. And that's kind of the theme of tonight. Everything, we're trying to launch this ball up, hit it on the upswing. It's going to go off your left heel. Okay, so I've got a line here that I'm going to put my left heel on, and then I'm going to set up to my golf ball. Okay, so left heel. My stance is going to be just outside my shoulder width. This is the biggest swing in the bag. This is the most speed I'm going to have, so I need a really solid base. So it's going to be just outside my shoulders here. So it can handle this big turn and movement, and again, generating all that speed going into the golf ball. Now, probably one of the things that I see most of is that you do not want to set up level. You want to set up tilting a little bit, and your setup's going to help you, especially your grip, before we even get started. Because my right hand is lower than my left, it already makes my right shoulder go down. Okay, so I see too many people, I think you can see this from down the line here a little bit too, a little bit better. I see too many people trying to set up this way, where their right shoulder gets high, their right hip and their right arm get a little bit higher, when impact on this is going to be somewhere back here, and that's something that we'll get into here in a minute. But when you set up to this ball, you want to feel like you're going to be matching this stick here. So a good way to help you set up with your driver if you're having trouble tilting is to get your grip, get your stance, get it off my front heel, and I take my driver up and I lean for right-handers to the right. Okay, that's going to pull this left hip up, it's going to pull my shoulder up, and now I can set my driver down so I feel again like I'm creating this launching pad because I want to hit up into this ball. So those are all things that we can do before we even get ready to go. So let's discuss what happens at impact. Okay, so when you look at the best players in the world, when they hit their golf ball, especially from my point of view, especially with the driver, because the ball is so far forward, I feel like 90% of my body, probably at minimum, is behind this golf ball. Okay, so what I mean by that is that when I go into impact and I'm coming down and I'm getting into impact, I almost feel a force coming this way, pushing me back this way, almost pushing my head, which tilts my shoulders and tilts my hips. It puts my right arm right on the back of the shaft and my left arm gets straight. So I feel like I'm coming at it this way. So I feel very behind the ball. Never would I want to try to hit this driver where I feel anywhere in front of it. Okay, so when you're hitting your driver, everything's going to be tilted this way. You almost feel like you're pushing back this way. I feel like this leg is pushing me back, and I feel like it's almost feel like it's pushing my head back, and I'm getting my right arm again on the side of the shaft, and everything is behind the ball. So make sure that you feel like you're behind the ball when you hit this. So again, what else is happening when I do that? Again, if I take those sticks, my shoulders and my hips, Okay, they're already going to be tilted like this. Now as I swing back down and I come into this driver and I come into the ball, everything is going to be tilted where I want the ball to go. So again, we've got a lot of tilts going on and we feel like we're very much behind the golf ball. So that is one of the bigger themes of tonight, is how do I launch my golf ball? Again, get it in the proper setup position, get your ball position correct, get your tee height correct, get your setup correct. Now all we have to do is turn behind the ball and let it go. So what I would have you do is make some swings and even have the club out in front of you and swing back and kind of mimic getting behind the ball this way. Then we put the club face down and you want to mimic getting behind the ball down there. So let's make a practice swing. We'll get into our setup position. Okay, I'm going to tilt right, get my hips and shoulders. Lastly that I see, because this is the biggest swing and this is the longest club in our bag, we have to make sure that we get turned all the way behind the golf ball, so when we come in we can get our right arm right on the back of the shaft and get these tilts working. So again, make sure that you get turned all the way behind the ball and then get your tilts working so your arm can line up with the shaft. Let's go ahead and hit one. So again, watch what you're doing with your setup. Watch what you're doing with your ball position. Okay, making sure that we don't get all the way up to our transition of the swing and kind of come down on it. We want to feel like you're behind, you've got these tilts, and so you can launch the ball in the air. Hit one more. So again, couple good swing thoughts after we get set up. You want to get behind your golf ball this way. Make sure everything gets out of the way. This right hip, right shoulder. And get these tilts going. So we're going up this way. So my right side now is lower. My left side is higher. And my right arm is right on the back of the ball. So make a checklist for yourself. These are all things that are going to help you launch the ball in the air a little bit more. Again, we're looking for, probably 13, 14, 15 degrees of launch and, optimal spin, probably between 22 and 3,200. So look at those numbers if you can get a launch monitor, but this will help you getting in the right position so we're not spinning the ball too much and we're launching it with angles in the face of the club. Like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf. Want to take a live lesson from me, or you have a question? Visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com. And thanks for watching.